Hello everyone, in this video you will be learning about central nervous system, but we first will look into the different parts of the nervous system. The nervous system is divided into two categories, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is further divided into brain and spinal cord. So the two parts of the central nervous system is basically brain and spinal cord. Okay. The peripheral nervous system is cranial nerves, the nerves which arise or come out or linked to the brain, and spinal nerves are those nerves which are linked to the spinal cord. So first we'll look into the central nervous system, the brain structure and the spinal cord structure. Then we'll go into the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, it consists of brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system makes sure that all the information which is being processed by the spinal cord and the brain and the spinal cord are being sent to the appropriate motor neurons which are connected to the part of the body which has to respond or do the action. Okay. In complicated responses, both the brain and the spinal cord are involved in processing the information and sending appropriate response. Okay. So the main function of central nervous system is what? First of all, it has to collect all the information from all the receptors of the different parts of the body. Okay. And then it has to add up this information and send it to the brain and spinal cord. They both will process it and send back the information. The information which is sent back has to be sent to the particular respective effector or the motor neuron so that the body part can do the action, the required action according to the message sent. Okay. Now, central nervous system is first we'll talk about spinal cord. Okay. Now, spinal cord has these vertebral. The other names for spinal cord is vertebral column. Vertebral column is a bony structure. Okay. It is divided into four categories or four segments. The first one, the bones at the back of your neck, is the cervical or cervix, which cervical bone, which is 7 in number. The bones at the back, just behind your chest, is your thoracic, which are 12 in number. The bone at the back of the hip is the lumbar, okay, and then you have the sacrum and coccyx. Now, if you observe this picture here, the vertebral column are bony structure having a tiny hole which is connecting the different parts of different bones of the vertebral column. Now, these tiny holes, through them passes the nerves connecting to the different parts. So, these yellow thread-like structures that you are seeing are the nerves which are being connected to the other parts of the body which join here, and furthermore they are connected to the brain. The greenish color is the connection showing to the brain. So all the nerves connected to the part of the bodies are connected to the spinal cord. Brain will connect with all the other body parts through the spinal cord. So brain will send and receive the information only and only through spinal cord. So spinal cord is the bridge between the remaining part of the body and the brain. So spinal cord is a cylindrical structure. It begins in the continuation with medulla. The end part or the exit of the brain is called as the medulla or brainstem, which further extends downwards. It is enclosed in a bony cage called as a vertebral column. It is surrounded by membranes, which is called as the meninges. It has 31 pairs of nerves which arise from the spinal cord and are connected to the different parts of the body. All the reflex actions means those actions which have to be done immediately to protect the body. Those reflex actions are always being taken care by spinal cord. And the conduction of nerve impulse, that is the nerve messages which are being sent to the brain and carried again from the brain, is done by spinal cord. So spinal cord is again the only connecting point for brain with the rest of the body. Now brain, let's look into the structure of the brain. First of all, the outer cover of the brain is a bony structure which is called as a cranium. Inside the cranium you can see these folded parts which is the main brain, which is called as the cortex. Now the cortex is multiple folded because many informations have to be processed and stored and reactions have to be given. So therefore it is multifolded. Let's look into the parts of the brain. They are divided into lobes. Okay, the frontal lobe, which is the forehead, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. This is the cerebellum and brainstem. The same thing is marked here. This is the frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, brainstem is this blue one, and cerebellum. Okay, let's look into the brain structure and the parts of the brain. So brain, the highest coordinating center in the body. It is located inside the skull and it is again further protected inside the bony box called as the cranium. Okay, they have three membranes, which are the meninges: outer membrane, inner membrane, and an intermedullary membrane. The space between the membrane is filled with fluid which is called as cerebrospinal fluid. Now, what is the purpose of cerebrospinal fluid? It helps the brain or protects the brain from mechanical shock. What do we mean by a mechanical shock? Suppose if you are walking through a room and by suddenly you trip off and you hit your head on the wall. The moment you hit the wall, you have a shock which is being passed through the skull inside the brain. To protect the brain from this effect, the cerebrospinal fluid is going to absorb the shock. Same way, if some person is walking on a road and suddenly something falls on his head, like a big bang. Okay. Again, that particular shock is being absorbed by the cerebrospinal fluid. Yes, the brain can, the head can swell up. There can be small, tiny blood clots. Yes, that is the after effect. But the main part of the brain, that is the cortex, is protected because of the cerebrospinal fluid and the cranium. That is the purpose of cerebrospinal fluid. Hope this is clear. Now we'll look into the three parts of the brain. Now, brain is divided into three categories. The forebrain, which is the larger part to be more precise and the more folded part of the brain. The midbrain, which is not visible at all. And normally, it's hidden in between the forebrain and the hindbrain. So this is the middle brain and the hindbrain. Okay. Now, forebrain is nothing but called as the cerebrum. Cerebrum is further divided into four categories. What is there? Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. Okay, each have certain functions, so accordingly they have been divided into four categories. The hindbrain is further divided into three parts: cerebellum, which is this pons just behind it, and medulla, which is the brain stem, which connects the spinal cord to the brain. Okay, so the three parts are forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. We are going to talk about individually each. So forebrain. Forebrain, as I have already mentioned, it is the major part of the brain, have multiple folds. It consists of cerebrum. So what are the main functions of cerebrum? It is the thinking part of the brain. All the learning, all the understanding, reasoning. Intelligence means how fast you can grasp a particular concept or you remember a few things or how easily you can memorize. All these are related to the cerebrum, which is the frontal lobe or the front part of your brain. Sensations like vomiting or feeling nauseated or feeling excited, having a sensation of when you see some food, a picture of some food, and you start watering, your mouth starts watering. These are all sensations. Movement like walking, lifting your legs, lifting your hands, lifting your head, actions, right? These are all again being taken care of and controlled by cerebrum, but a different part of the cerebrum. Our cerebrum is divided into four categories: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. All the voluntary actions are again being coordinated by cerebrum. Voluntary actions means all the muscular movements, head, hand movements, leg movements. They are all being coordinated by the cerebrum. There are different areas for performing functions like thinking is a different lobe, memory is again concerned to a different lobe, sensation and emotional feelings. Okay, so cerebellum is the main thinking part of the body, and there are various functions which are being carried out by cerebellum: learning, reasoning, intelligence, memory, sensation, movement, actions, all voluntary actions, emotional feelings. Okay, next, so midbrain. Midbrain is not at all divided further into any divisions. Its main function is the movement of the head, neck, and trunk in reflex. The reactions that we give by moving our heads or by reacting to a sudden situation or a deadly situation. When our head reacts, these reactions or these movements are taken care of by the midbrain. All the visual information, whatever our eyes sense, whatever is being seen by both of our eyes is sent to the brain. Those visual information are processed by the midbrain. Same way, the auditory respiration means the auditory information that is being sent by the ear to the brain is also being processed by the midbrain. Okay, what you hear, so it has been interpreted, means understood, processed, and then sent back to the eyes and the ears, and that is when we see and hear things. Okay. So the visual and the auditory information is processed by the midbrain. It also controls the reflex movement of eye muscles, means how to open and close your eyelids. Okay. Even the size of the pupil and shape of the eyelids. These two are totally depending on the amount of light which enters your eyes. During that time, the pupil size and the shape of the eyelids changes. That is also being controlled by the midbrain. Okay. Now the next one, hindbrain. Now hindbrain is further divided into three parts: pons, cerebellum, medulla. Pons, it completely takes care of the respiratory part of our body. So respiration, connected to all the respiration, and the respiratory organs of the body are somewhere connected with the pons. Cerebellum, it helps in maintaining body posture, especially when we are walking and standing. Even when you're sitting, okay, the body posture and the balance of the body is maintained by the cerebellum. Okay, it is also enables us to make precise and accurate movement, especially when we are walking or when we are running. We don't realize it, but it is the cerebellum which makes sure that we are making precise movement and accurate movement so that we don't fall off or we don't trip off. Okay, next is medulla. Medulla controls all the involuntary actions like breathing, heartbeat, blood pressure. Okay, it also controls the reflexes like swallowing, coughing, sneezing, and vomiting. Okay, so now if you have ever heard incidences where some people meet, come across a major accident or somebody has fallen off from a terrace, so the immediate response will be the doctors will be checking and they'll be asking if you are feeling vomiting or some sensation like missing of your balance of the body. Why they keep asking this is because they want to check whether the hindbrain is affected or not. So if a person vomits, means it's a first signal that the damage is caused to the brain. So these are few symptoms which are being asked to a patient or a person who has a head injury. Okay. If the person is not having any vomiting, especially, then we say that the person is a little bit safer. Okay. Now the last one, which is peripheral nervous system. Now peripheral nervous system is nothing but I've divided, I've already mentioned it, is the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. But if you look into the structure here, peripheral nervous system forms 3/4 of our nervous system because they are connected to every tip and every skin cell so that it can carry the sensory information to the spinal cord, and through spinal cord it can send it to the brain. So peripheral nervous system part forms the major part of our body's nerve cells. Okay, it's the communication between the central nervous system and the other parts of the body. Okay, so cranial nerves are the nerves which comes out of the brain or which are connected to the brain, and spinal nerves are those nerves which are connected from the spinal cord. And if you remember, we have 31 nerves which come out from the spinal cord, so they have 31 spinal nerves. So today, sorry, in this video, we just saw different parts of the brain. Okay, what is a spinal cord? Correct? So a quick review: what is a spinal cord? What is a brain? The different parts of the brain like forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, and then peripheral nervous system. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.